Microphone check. Microphone check. Oi. Microphone check. Testing sound. Testing sound. Testing sound. Noise check. Yes, boy, boy. Then yours. Come on, boy. Turn off. There's no battery maybe. It's off. Was it off? His both my Facebook and his were off in terms of audio.
It's working now.
Yeah, it's not working.
Music.
On. After this match, dear viewers, it will be resting time for these players. as we shall be resuming with yet another day of action, perhaps a longer day tomorrow. There will be a lot more games, that can be sure. Today, normally the start of competitions can mean to have its own challenges with availability of logistics, space, and things of the sort. That's why matches in the comp have been fewer, with the first round not even having been played to completion. Tomorrow, everybody who is involved in the competition and has not played will get to play, and those who have qualified into the second round will be playing their second round matches. And that is tomorrow, Friday tomorrow, Friday the 19th, and then Saturday 20th, we shall be having the round of last 16, then the quarterfinals. No, the round of last 16, some of the matches, and then the quarterfinals. By the way, tomorrow there is also another money match between Caesar and Ginte. Expectation is power. Sorry guys, I'm taking some 1 or 2 minutes to try and sort out the audio issue on the face.
Caesar, man, come on. Kill him. Sure, Caesar, man, sure. Caesar, kill him. Let's do it.
Just a second. I just want to say thank you. As we welcome back some of the Facebook viewers that have been missing audio, a polite reminder that their hunter is being hunted, and being hunted in a city far away from home, in a money match that is between the two players, but also most importantly between two management teams, that is the Advanced Talent Agency taking care of Caesar and Big KELS taking care of Nigeria. The two players are racing 215 for $1,500 here at the Institute of Sports, Lagos Central Business District in the West African nation of Nigeria, with the Grim Reaper having a chance, call it half a chance, to win yet another, to extend his lead again, to make it 4, to try and have twice as many frames as his opponent, try and make himself an overwhelming favorite for the victory. A match that has seen a little glimpses of Caesar's fine touch, but not throughout the course of the match. He's clearly inconsistent, and Ian is so far playing at a relative high level, and you even get a feeling his lead is actually a deserved lead. Has to be careful. The cue ball here, he plays it into Caesar's red, probably not to his intention, but to his liking, at least in terms of the resting position of white after the shot is taken. He can play yellow into the center pocket, can play the cue ball into another yellow, can drag the white just a little with full sight of another yellow, which is the would be bad of them 4 left on the table. She wants to play by red, dive into the corner pocket. If you're watching from Pixels Photography, it is the corner pocket. If you're watching from Break and Fish Live, he may want to draw the cue ball into the red just a little. To leave the cue ball at the point where the red is, he avoids contact with the red, and does so, and rightly so. The beauty is that there is another contingent of players at the venue, all watching, seemingly ready to be entertained, but also in an important way. They seem to be learning from players that are clearly shooting pool at a relative high level in comparison to other players, most especially from the West African bloc. They seem to be so much in love with both of these players, but most importantly the guy that is trailing, whom they are seeing on the verge of being defeated at least for an 8th frame out of the first 12. It will be Ian for Big KELS versus the black to the corner pocket, bottom left. It's in, white is safe. The lead grows with yet another single visit of the table by the Grim Reapers. And dear viewers, Ian, KAZIBWE 8 and Caesar CHANDIGARH 4 and the race to 15. Yes, why not? Just time out and start supporting him.
How can I do that? I cannot do that.
Hey, ladies. Okay. The time they face up against each other, they were all tournaments. Some of them are racing 9, but every time Ian starts like that, wins. Dalesma, thank you for watching. Big KELS is not using Juju. I actually think he negotiated for a smaller pot. And he's the happiest guy of them all that are at the venue now. Even happier than Ian. It's Ian himself. Race to 15, dear viewers, we shall be having our first time of the match as requested by Caesar, and it will go for not more than 3 minutes, and one of the minutes has already been used up. Timeout, Ian 8 and Caesar 4. And we'll be having some time to chat with you during the timeout, like Solomon Great. You say you are imagining keeping vigil all night to watch pool, and the pool god is being whitewashed like a like a recalcitrant people. I didn't even understand your terminology. Dr. Ndomkando, you're asking where is something going between Caesar and Juju. You say it's Juju. Come on, eh? The Kitwala Mark, you cannot imagine missing sleep to watch Caesar playing like this. No, no, no. He can win, he can lose. He's human as well. Senior John, you say today anyway, Caesar has no tools or something. Watching from Kipixel's photography, Gibson Katambala, yeah. Again from Kipixels, you say he will beat Sheu only on this tour. Stop disturbing the Scorpion, eh? Kapaya from Zambia, seemingly supporting Caesar, and then Gibson also says that Ian and Ginte and Sheu, they will play for 1,500 pots. Yes, Jerry will play for a bigger pot guy. Eh? That one will be the race of the tour. Live commentary to proceed shortly when the match starts. Otherwise, still 8 frames to 4. Ian leads against Caesar. Facebook. I want to see if there is audio.
In case you don't know, we are not only live, here at the University. We have our amazing guest discussing of pizza baby. Number one, number one, number one. We are actually live. We also have an amazing person with us.
with Ian extending his lead without a surprise. The biggest roar in the crowd is coming from his boss, Big KELS. And as a matter of scoreline, it's now 9 frames to 4. The first time in the match that the gap between the two players has been extended to 9 frames. Remember, a long race it is, but given what these guys are accustomed to, 15 is relatively, and I'm saying relatively short. I love it for the fact that a few hundred people, including players and fans, can't believe the time it is that they are awake, they are at the venue, and they are attentive, they are following, irrespective of the fact that some have action tomorrow. That is both players and fans. The passion for this game is such that sometimes you get to watch it in awkward hours where you may stand no chance of going to the following day. To be an addictive game. Will the risk pay off? Will Ian beat Caesar for the first time in a long race? And by the way, for players from Caesar's country, in terms of money matches, you can speak of victory for Ibrahim Sejemba in a trilogy between Caesar and Ian. A race to 21 it was, 3 matches they were, with Caesar winning the first 2, both by 21 frames to 15, Ibra winning the third by 21 frames to 20. I also remember a sponsored race between Caesar and Rashid Wagaba Dog City in Kampala, coming to 2 years ago at the venue that is called Dice Lounge, against a race to 15 that ended 16 frames to 10, with Dog City winning. The other long race in which he lost against a fellow Ugandan was actually not a competition, not a money match, not a session, but a tournament, an 8-man double elimination tournament that happened in April last year when he lost out to Simon Lobola, the guy that's called the Computer. Other Ugandans, for them it has been more of tears than joy every time they've been facing off against Caesar in such long races. Ian, he himself as well did test the Wrath of the Scorpion. That was some time last year, but then the competition was played, I will call it, behind closed curtains. But now with all the openness of all these lights, for the effect you can clearly see on the table, and the fact that we have social media live streaming, the fact that everybody is watching is the same fact that everybody seems to be watching a match that has a much better player in Caesar and I chasing the much better player in Ian for the course of play, and then a chasing player in Caesar. His chase will be a little difficult if Ian puts the yellow he's looking at. And there is a cut between white and yellow. He may play the cue ball into the yellow that is in between 2 reds if he draws it backwards. Simply playing power balance to maintain white at just around the same point where there is the yellow is about to play is a little too difficult. He may play backspin, play white into the pile up of reds and yellows, most especially play the white into the yellow, push it a little further to the corner pocket at the bottom left of the cushion into the red. That one will not go down as a good shot. The pot was okay. Movement of white was never guided by Ian, and he knows if he doesn't pot the yellow, he's likely to be losing the frame in the Scorpion's next visit of the table. Ian decides to play safety. Of course, it will not be safe enough because Caesar has full sight of one of the reds at the left end of the table if you're watching from Break and Finish Live, but it's the right end if you're watching from Kpixel's photography. Safe goes this, and played not well, with Ian having the advantage to himself to make it 10 to take the scores in double figures for the first time in the match. Players seem not to be sure that they can pick the cue ball by themselves from the bed if there is a foul, but Ian is sure of what he can achieve as he plays the best of them features that he would have played anyway, playing stop effect on the cue ball, leaving it same exact spot where the last red was as he puts the last seal, plays the cue ball into his opponent's red, and the opponent concedes the frame. And Ian establishes a 2-frame lead, which is himself getting his scores in double figures for the first time in the big money match. 14 frames played, Caesar 4 and Ian 10. Scores in double figures for the first time in the big money match. 14.
Now for this particular guy, yes, boy. So at the same time, we have Use a man.
Sleep. Like I pour water on my head, it comes out.
How is going to be? How is going to be? How is paying the state money?
Ah, no, not today. Today we started late. Tomorrow there'll be fewer games. And we start a bit early.
That like 60 matches.
60. Yeah, only today. But tomorrow, starting from tomorrow we're starting at 4. Start at 4, then we push. So the games today were moving. Only today. Starting from tomorrow, really nice white. Check. This, no.
You know, in the eye it's very good, but what makes it easy is he knows as long as I get what he says, and I have at least 1 or 2. That makes it easy. Because you still okay even if you're not very accurate. When I sit down, I just relax. I cannot take an energy drink now because now tomorrow becomes worse. Because when I take an energy drink now I sleep on it. Then tomorrow I fail to do anything.
Yeah, that at least tomorrow we know that we are sleeping. Come a year later.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay, now let
What
me
team
know.
it is now? What team it is?
Hey, Mayor, yeah.
What team it is now?
I did on one bit.
Huh? Consider my game. Peter what? Okay. This one has the name. Mr. Play. Peter from Lab.
I believe it's still there because I had just charged. The mistake I did.
Now we have gone wireless.
This one, where's the wired one? I don't even know where I placed it. There. I use it when I have closed. No prize for guessing their viewers what's about to happen. Everybody knew that Ian was going to play snooker. A total snooker it is. Even direct angle. The direct angle is snookered. You fancy Caesar trying the angle though of one or two of the cushions, and with English on the keyboard, either left or right, depending on whether he comes off the top or bottom cushion. He will be coming off the top cushion, depending on which side you're watching from. I didn't see him falling, that I have to confess. I, however, would have fancied that he should have gone for the two reds close to each other at the top right of the table, because there is a less margin of error there. One or two or three balls that he can find even without imperfection. He chose to go for one. He chose to take the risk. The risk has not paid off in a match that saw him go down by 6 frames when Ian led by 10 frames to 4. The same match that Caesar has won 2 frames in quick succession, but a match that Ian could utilize is crushed by Caesar. A 5-frame cushion. Such a fact that these two are at home in the game, and it's now becoming a factor even on the continent. The two players that you cannot believe, despite Ian's big body size, a very big beard, he's just around the same age as Caesar. He's only in his mid 20s, should be 26. Caesar, I think, 25. Just not sure of his birth date. Last time I checked out, he was 24. I am sure now he's 25. With Ian having just the black to put to the corner pocket, the center pocket, top or bottom, and it's sunk. He finally is a beneficiary of just one technical shot. He played a technical snooker. It is that gave him the benefit of a free shot and another visit. And he visited the table and he cleared it once and for all, needing to win 4, with his opponent needing to win 9 out of the remaining 13. It is Caesar 6 and Ian 11.
Oh.
But I didn't think something. It's like some poetry. You play around with it, but it's
Chance for the Scorpion in a money match that, at least so far, is representing one of his poorest performances, if not the very poorest. And with the match in respect that he played against Jerry in Durban about 18 months ago, when he was on the losing end, on the receiving end of about 12 apples in a race to 21. Maybe they were more than that. 15 apples, I'm being told by the streamer of the day, Francis. But at least for this one, Caesar seems to be registering an apple by himself. Not so contented with the position of white. Maybe the yellow that is at the top end of the table close to the cushion will be played last. Playing it first means he needs a little bit of English on white to avoid contact with red. He doesn't contact the red and he's full in business. The recovery is on in a match that is starting to be played at a top class level, with what could be a third consecutive single visit clearance, with 2 from Caesar and 1 of Ian in between, with Caesar playing black for the last time in the frame, with black getting sunk, with the Scorpion pulling 1 back. It is 7 frames to 11. Caesar leading, racing to 15 for 1,500 US dollars. My expectation is the completion of this match in anywhere around 40 to 50 minutes. But if Ian improves his pattern, it could as well be in less than 30 if it's consequent, if it's for the victory. Of the team from either of the players, sharing 2 each. But if he does win this one as well with his current visit, it will be of the 4 players, the one that could have come as least likely. In a match that is having fans relatively neutral, just enjoying the action, despite them knowing that one of the players, this guy on table right now, is Nigerian managed. He's also one of a quadruple of Ugandan players managed under big KELS. 3 guys, 1 lady. The other guys, boys, call them Herbert and Asiku Jackson. Then the lady, that is Rashida. But of the Ugandan contingent, of course, this guy is the head boy. He's the one that is assigned with the bigger duties. He's the one of them from the same country that did win an international competition for the first time in Kenya. He's the one that was lined up the most number of times in the Kenya tour. To be specific, 4 races, some of them $3,000, some of them $2,000 pots against Ishmael. He's also the one that is missing a would-be very critical yellow, giving chance to the Scorpion to sting again. But of course, if there is any player that you think can take down a frame even as tricky as this, this is the guy. He may want to cut red into the corner pocket. He may want to play safe. He seemingly plays just safe enough.
But if one of the guys is South African, so not perhaps Zimbabwe perhaps Zambia, this then you can they're getting interested in it nowadays. Yes,
Special dedication of this match to all of you that are watching this on giant screen at home with family. Also, I'm cautious of the fact that this can mean to be a family sport. Keeping the tone at bay. Also, special dedication and greetings to all of the people that make huge investment in keeping this sport alive. Of course, right here, Big KELS and Caesar's management team, the ATA, Nevson Select, Ghost Nation, Chana, most especially Chairman GNM, very special person and yet very humble pillar. I see him as a gift to this sport from above. Roxbury, Masters, very special team of players from 4 different countries, all managed and of course financed very, very well. And all the special champions that I will be assuming to be watching this game now. Looks like a lighting effect is affecting the players. I like it when players are friendly to each other. It's a relatively rare scenario where a player is having the light affecting their vision, and then his own opponent is asked by the player who is being affected to stand a little in front of the light. And then the player on table does play so well and gets his spot. It's one of those few times when the reminder that it is just a sport to unite people, to unite the continent, to unite the youth, to compete against each other, but in beautiful unity. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Caesar. Once again, here he comes, making baby steps, try and get himself to closer to Ian, get himself more and more into the match. Imagine if he wins this frame, like assumably he will. Imagine, should he win the next, should he make it 8, 9, 11, then it could be anybody's game. And yet, just about 10 minutes ago, it looks to be Ian's game to win the class. The line of the fans as he points back for the 8th time. 9 frames is 8 and 10. What you're watching is the 20th frame of the match, guys. After this, it will be 10 more frames to play to make it 30 to determine the winner. And if they are drawing after 30 frames by 15 all, we shall be having one final frame as a decider to determine who of them will be taking away the 1,500 US dollars of the other. Is it Caesar? Is it Ian? Clearly under pressure, but of the two players, it is him that has been under this kind of pressure so many times before, and most of them coming out triumphant. A money match that he played against Aiden Joseph in Nairobi in Kenya. He at one time was down by 4 frames, with Aiden needing to win 1 out of the last 5 to take victory home. Caesar won that race at Mchana Pub and Grill in 2022 by 21 frames to 20. And all that the Scorpion will be having in mind is finishing the frame. Nothing else will do. Not only will he come within just 2 frames of Ian, it will be a major confidence boost for the fact that he'll be knowing that he is once and clears it for himself. Champion. For whom their management teams have turned them professional, if not semi-professional, playing against each other now is in order. The Scorpion on the verge of stinging yet again. He will probably want to put maybe both reds to the same corner pocket, top left, maybe put one red, draw the cue ball backwards into another, maybe into the yellow or the black, or the pile up of the 2 balls or the 3. He goes off cushion white, round the last red on the table, which he will be putting to the same corner pocket, I believe, drawing the cue ball slightly backwards to have sight of the black, to put it to the corner pocket at the top right, maybe play white into yellow. But the shot has to be backspin, drawing white backwards into black. That one will be the penultimate shot of the match. A little tricky is the position of the black, but surely it can go in. That is into the corner pocket at the top right of the screen. White will be played into yellow, making it safe. And the Scorpion stings yet again, coming within 2 frames of his opponent after 20 frames played. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Chandigarh Season 9 and Ian KAZIBWE 11.
No, the pockets are big.
Oh, yes. Why is it? And now, ever since maybe the last 30 minutes or so, chances like this for Ian have been few and coming far between. Some of them only coming off Ian's own breaks, getting to portable. He is needed to be very clinical to win any frame from the last 6 or 7, because he led at one time by 6 frames, and that was after 14 frames played when he led by 10 frames 4, and yet after 20 frames 6 more frames later he leads just with 2, meaning he was able only to win 1 in 5. Now this could be 2 in 6 only if he gets his pattern right. And yes, he's down. He will be demonstrating that he's not yet out. Sorry, not he's pendingly down only in terms of maybe the last 6 frames, how many he's been winning, but he's not yet out of the game. That's what I'm trying to insinuate here. And this one could be the most difficult frame. He will be trying to win with a visit of the table. Another player will want to play safety. There are options to play safe. Either play one of the reds into the corner pocket at the top left, which is bottom right if you're watching from break and finish. That is to use red to occupy yellow, not to pot. Going for the frame, going for the victory now is tricky business. It is in fact quite risky. Not only because of how difficult it is to finish off the yellows, but also the positioning of scissors. I'm saying how difficult it is to finish the reds, but also the positioning of scissors. Yellows shouldn't even finish the reds off. Now maybe he will have to put the red that is frozen against the top cushion. Has to get it right. Having it in full knowledge that shouldn't he pot, at least he shouldn't give it white away. Play with top spin, white to bounce to the cushion, off the cushion a little, then follow the red again, just a little, hopefully be on target. Safety is on, and the pot is on, and the frame is on. Of course, it's 3 reds left on the table, but one of them positioned quite tricky for Ian's liking. If he can sink the red, one of the reds may be off the yellow to open up the pocket, it will be so beautiful for him.
Oh boy.
Here he comes. He puts, draws the cue ball just a little backwards. In my assumption, he may want to put both reds to the same corner pocket at the top right. It's the corner pocket bottom left if you're watching from Q Pixels Photography. A shot in which he plays to put one of the reds, then bounces the cue ball off 2 cushions round the other. But it has to be pinpoint balance of power in the pot, balance of spin in the cue ball, balance of the pot with everything coming together. How good. He has to put, first of all, white off 2 cushions round the red. Beautiful from the Grim Reaper. That is more like it for him. From him, that is him demonstrating to us what his best can mean to be. For the guy that I like to say that has a very lethal hand that can mean to take down any player on the African continent. When he means to be lethal, Ian is very lethal. A roll of the red has cue ball, follow the red just a little, and the rest is a formality. After taking a 5 frame lead, Caesar was somewhat the better player for the next 30 minutes, with Ian winning 1 in 4. But when Caesar was on the verge of coming within 1 frame of Ian, Ian now extends his lead. It is the Grim Reaper now 12 and the Scorpion 9.
Oh, it's easy to
Yes, boy.
Oh, yeah, that was not easy.
Almost.
Make sure, boy. Catch. Go.
But you need to be very accurate.
Make sure, boy.
Watching. Played very well. Different.
It were 4 frames won by Caesar out of 5. But it has been Ian reminding us of exactly what he can do, winning 2 frames in very critical manner. He wants to register himself as one of very few Ugandan players that have gotten victories against the Scorpion in long races. It is the likes of Ibra Sejemba to talk of once in a race to 21, but that is after about 4 attempts. Simon Nobola, the computer, once after 2 attempts. Hazard Lukomwa twice, but not really, with head start. Wanika Mansour once with head start, and that is it. And relatively big head start with +6 in a race to 21 to register the victory. The dry break comes to haunt the Scorpion at a time when dry breaking is almost criminal. And once again, thank you so much, most especially those that are watching the action live. I know that these will sound to be very old words for those that will be watching the action tomorrow, understandably so. The tournament has gone on way deep into the night. It's now 1 p.m. West African time. It's even later than that in East and Southern African time, and yet we are streaming and commentating to just over 1,500 people watching this action live. Thank you very much, Africa. That is live from Break and Finish Live at KPX Photography. That is the YouTube and streaming platforms, with the Grim Reaper needing to win 2, with one of them probably in sight, with him having his A game come into the play at the business end of the match. With him now the overwhelming favorite for the victory. Yes, Caesar is more clinical, more classy at his very best. Even if Fancy has still a chance to win the match, but now trying to win 6 before Ian can win 3, maybe asking for a little too much. Perhaps Ian needs to win just 2, and one of them should be this. Here he will be coming. Could start with either of 2 reds left on the table. In the commentator's opinion, it's more sensible to start with the red that is a little more distant from white. Portable to the corner pocket at the top right if you're watching from Break and Finish. It is the corner pocket bottom left if you're watching from Key Pixels Photography, with him having to bounce the cue ball off 2 cushions, maybe round yellow and black, as long as he avoids contact between white and yellow. The one is about to play needs a lot of English on the cue ball. He puts with right English. Of course, he was always going to leave the cue ball a little farther away from the last red on the table, but again, he's Ian. That is where his left hand on a normal day does come in handy. When you take on a guy that is as friendly to you as these guys are between each other, when they take each other on with no smile between each other, that is professionalism at its maximum best. How professional will Ian be, at least for this one shot, as he misses and misses big, with huge expectation that he's not only missing the court, he's like missing as well the frame. And if he loses the match, it's just my opinion that could have been the match. Where he got it wrong, he should have started with the distant red when it was 2. You don't leave your more difficult ball to be played last. That is sometimes just basic in the game. The chance is now for Caesar to pounce, for the frame to win, for the victory to fight for. Also a name to protect, also some kind of record to protect. And Ian is about to learn the lesson that when you have a chance to take the frame down, do take it, because if you don't, your opponent most of the times will. And as for Caesar, he will be probably putting the last yellow on the table, maybe to the corner pocket at the top right, maybe center pocket bottom or top, depending on which platform from which you are streaming this. The center pocket is easier for putting the ball. The corner pocket is easier for moving the cue ball. He goes for the center pocket, maybe bounce the cue ball off the right cushion as he puts to the bottom center pocket, with white off 2 of the right cushions, and the rest is a formality. Ian came so close to winning this frame, then he became so complacent. Now the frame has Caesar missing and playing snooker, not with intent but too much luck. He raises his hand in recognition of the too much luck he needed with that shot, and for Ian a moment to regret. The same exact point where he missed the last red big is the point where he is snookered. Even when he finds the red, and I'm saying only when, he still gives the cue ball away, because the last ball on the table for Caesar, the black, is packed. All that can do for Ian is find red and pot. He wants to come off 2 cushions, then play red into the corner pocket at the top left. That is even bizarre, him thinking it's possible. If he can make the pot, it will be one of the best pots I would ever have watched after all these years of watching African pool of the question. And another question will come, the Grim Reaper. Here's the shot. It is a foul. He will probably be conceding the frame. Yes, he does. Caesar 10 and Ian 13. All right, now, dear viewers, once again, I have a new Nigerian brother whom I want to say hi to. And first of all, in a simple way, just introduce yourself in terms of the name and anything you may want to say about yourself.
My name is Wisdom, commonly known as Wizzy Poo from Delta State.
Wizzy Poo.
Yeah, Wizzy Play from Delta State.
You know who the big Wizzy is in Poo? He's the Zim guy.
Zim guy, Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe, yeah.
I don't know.
He's one of the most important pool figures in Zim.
Also,
that's why another day.
I'm also important pool figure in Delta State.
I understand that. I've already tested how important you are. Thank you for the work.
Yes.
Ensuring that things are in order to see that this does happen. Now, what do you think after the work of playing pool for a day that this competition is bringing in a positive way for Nigerian pool in general?
In general, for me, this is stepping stone, and we are moving forward in terms of pool game in Nigeria, and we are at large as an African. We are attempts to see the game different from the way we have been seeing it all this while.
That's good.
Yeah, and in no time, in 3-4 years, Nigeria will meet up to
Top two.
standard.
You've given us 3-4 years.
Yes, yes.
As it is in
Imagine.
other sports.
Yes.
Now, these guys, I believe that you people have been watching them online for some time. For now, they are playing in Nigeria in front of a Nigerian supporters. Compare them to Nigerian players, even if it's not these two, any other non-Nigerian players in the comp. How would you compare them to the best players from Nigeria?
For once, I will say all these guys are true professionals, and they brought professionalism to the game.
Yeah.
Now, Nigerians have a lot to learn from them, and we are still learning. And it's a good thing they are here. We are seeing them live, doing the things they have been doing on TVs, on streams that we have been watching, and we tend to catch them soon. Like I said, 4 years maximum.
4 years maximum.
Yeah.
I believe that we shall be producing some other players. That is besides the top players, besides
yes.
the Walius and the Sheus and the yeah.
Top players are coming from Delta State as well.
Yeah.
Yes, in 4 years' time. We have 12 young players coming up. We have a senator, just 19 years, and he's a very good player. Prominent figure for that matter.
Now, any ladies playing pool in this nice country?
Yes, they play, but not as much as the men do.
But yes, they play.
Yes, they do play, yes.
And now, anything that you want to tell to the world regarding Nigerian pool, regarding yourself, regarding big KELS, regarding anything, because it's the first truly Nigerian competition, not just Nigerian, first international competition in West Africa ever for billiards.
Yes, first of all, I would want to be a very big shout out to BKs for doing this, and to say a very big shout out to you guys for coming all the way from Uganda.
It's us to thank you the more.
Yes,
you are the guys organizing, you are the guys inviting us, you are the guys accommodating us, and from me, I just say Wushe Magai.
Yes. You guys are welcome, and you can see what Ian is doing, and it's pulling us, blowing our minds, and we tend to catch up. We tend to really catch up with these guys. They're doing work very, very well for themselves, and we really tend to catch up with them.
Yes, boy. One more.
Thank you very much for the time.
Yes.
Enjoy the rest of the game.
Yes.
There we go. That is Wizzy, the Nigerian version of Wizzy, not Wisdom Ndige. It is, guys, now 14 frames to 10 with Ian leading. If Caesar doesn't win 5 frames in a row, he will succumb to a money match defeat against a Ugandan player for the third time in about 20 or so attempts.
He wants to speak in French for those beginners. How do they say how in French?
Okay. I want to say hi to Napoli, someone from Burkina Faso, a player. There's going to be some French spoken on the stream, eh?
Ouais, bonjour. D'accord. Je ne saurais être là au nom de tous les joueurs du Burkina Faso sans pour autant prendre la parole, pas au nom de tous les joueurs, mais en tant que ma personne, et dire merci à tous les joueurs qui ont contribué et tous les joueurs qui ont œuvré dans l'ombre et aux yeux de tout le monde pour que réellement nous on soit ici au Nigeria pour représenter les drapeaux. C'est vrai, déjà, c'est pas simple. Le niveau est vraiment ça. Mais bon, nous aussi, on est là pour élever le niveau en tant que les étalons du billard du Burkina Faso. Et de ce pas, je ne saurais continuer sans dire merci aussi à tous les joueurs du Burkina Faso. Tout d'abord, les joueurs de Bobo Dioulasso, les joueurs de Tampui, les joueurs de Goungé, les joueurs de Samba, les joueurs de Kampala, tous les joueurs de Ouagadougou, sans oublier Koulba. Voilà, big up aussi au restaurant Tantibio de passage aussi. Donc, sincèrement, je vais inviter tous les joueurs de Burkina Faso à œuvrer pour qu'on puisse vraiment avoir une fédération en place. Par exemple, tout ce qui se passe ici, vraiment, je vous assure, on est là. Il n'y a rien d'extraordinaire. Il n'y a rien qui surprend personne. Il y a moi aussi là, mais nous y a encore des hommes, nana tabala, ou comme tu as sommé, il y a trop de nana taba, nous y a un sourire yemre. Vraiment, Zach Biara, il y a tout le cobra. Ce qu'on aime vraiment là, aller très loin. D'accord, donc je ne serai pas vraiment très long. Voilà, merci beaucoup à tous les joueurs et one love. Vive le billard Nigeria.
Au revoir, monsieur. That's the only thing I understand in French. It means thank you, sir. Yeah. It is foreign French to 10, guys. And I know that less than 1% of you were understanding what he's saying, but it's better than zero. As Ian widely now expected to take victory home to ensure that he starts off this tour on a very, very high note. And believe you me, most especially for the course of last year and sometime this year, for what I've been reading online, many have been considering him from his country as the player that is the second best thing to the player that he's playing against. That is how highly he's regarded. And one thing I can guarantee you, he's such a joy to watch. Not so many can use the left hand as sweet as his when playing on the green bed. Call it a blue bed for the course of the day. That is the noise of his manager asking him to make sure, asking him to fight hard, trying to go for a money match that will count a loss. Sometimes playing against Caesar in a race as long as 15 has not been as easy as said. But Ian has more than the chance to win a very big frame. That is more important than winning $1,500. That is money that can come and go anytime. But beating Caesar in a long race is not for everybody. And Ian could be demonstrating that he's not everybody. He's not anybody. He is Ian with now a collection of 5 yellows to try and play. A frame that is looking quite tricky. You fancy he wanted to draw the cue ball backwards into the red, but with power. A shot in which he came a little short. Now having a yellow, that is bottom was of them 4 left on the table to try and pot. To cut it on the right, try and put it to the corner pocket at the bottom right. Naturally, white is played either into the yellow close to the black or the black itself, if not the reds. But crucially, he has gotten to be on target with high bridge. He plays and only narrowly misses, and Caesar survives only for now. Thank you for watching, Isaac Gwaza. You're calling it a good game for Ian, and you're saying that for your Scorpion, you're calling him yours. You're calling him yours. You're already saying next time better. As though your Scorpion, you want to play combination shot maybe once or twice in the match, and for once it's in. The corner pocket at the bottom right is open. He may need yet another. That is the red. That is just close to 2 yellows at the top right corner of the table. If you're watching from Kipixel's photography, it is the bottom left. But trying to do that kind of magic is a lot more difficult than saying that it is possible. He may need a little bit of safety. He may decide to play the red of the red close to the 2 yellows of the cushion, and in between the 2 yellows he may play the distant red by rail drive with no intention to pot it. And there we are. So Isma, thank you for watching. Richard Kleberson, the guy that is responsible for the designs of these players, that is both of them. And just in case you want any of these t-shirts for yourself. As long as you inbox, you will be in order to dress like either of the two, like Ian or Caesar. What will not be possible is for you to play as good as Ian has been. That could see him pull off one big clearance with potting two big yellows, one big black, US richer. Relative of the fact that it is pretty much the same amount of money that he took home when he won an international competition outside the borders of his country for the very first time. That was the Grand China Easter Cup. He has played his yellow dead. Mistake at exactly the wrong time of the encounter. One of those shots that once they come, you even have a feeling there is no shot possible. He may have to play the yellow into black direct, maybe all sliding it off the black. Hope that black doesn't go into any pocket, but then hope that yellow can go into any. Here he comes, going for a sharp cut of the yellow. Maybe it could go into the center pocket top. It could, you never know. With the deceptive angle that I have, it's not in. And black is played open. And Ian is getting himself in even more trouble.
Playing like you.
And for once, Caesar does play safety. Looks like Ian has some sight of the yellow. Some sight. I doubt it is sight enough to have it potted, but yes, he is not snookered at least fully. I don't even know what is going on in his mind. Maybe try and play it off the cushion. Maybe off two cushions. He's going off the top cushion. He wants to find yellow and put it to the corner pocket at the top. It is a miss. It is a foul. And Caesar will probably be having cue ball in hand for himself, for Team the Scorpion, for ATF, for a chance to try and win 5 frames in a row. Of course, it will be very difficult, but yes, if there is a player that you think can win 5 in a row, even on a relative bad day, then that guy is Caesar. But again, if there is any player from all in his country whom you think on his day can beat Caesar quite comprehensively, and maybe that guy is Ian. The fish shot was played with a little bit of luck, but it is quite efficient. He will probably want to put the two reds lined up close to each other, to center pockets, left, top and bottom, sorry. And it is 3 reds, and he can start with either of them. Putting one to the corner pocket, bottom right, bouncing the cue ball off the bottom cushion, closer to the 2 reds, which are near that center pocket at the top, with little power and much precision. With good English on the cue ball, Caesar seems to have gotten himself snookered in what could once again be a turning point of the match. He seems to be in trouble, at least in the mind. He may have sight of one of the reds, cutting it sharp. He cuts it so sharp, but pots. Double jeopardy for Ian is double luck for Caesar in the same frame. Where is this match going? Who of the 2 players is getting the victory? How close Ian was to winning the same frame, that now has Caesar even closer. And yet, he misses yet again. This time round, maybe for one final time, with Ian having a smile, a laugh of joy, but also laughing at himself for the opportunities he got prior, which he didn't utilize well. Now having that one big opportunity, has to be careful. By the way, if cue ball is played a little complacently. It could be potted into the corner pocket at the bottom right. He has to avoid the corner pocket, bounce the cue ball off two cushions with potting yellow to the corner pocket at the top right, then black to the same corner pocket, and that could guarantee him victory. He's more than able to play the yellow on target, also more than able to play the cue ball well. It's just the pressure, it's just the nerves, it's just the chance to do what he and maybe others thought wasn't possible, beating Caesar in a long race as he goes for the corner pocket opposite and puts the yellow. He will be playing white as close can be to the black. It can go into that center pocket at the bottom where there is the red. He simply has to avoid the red and the jaw, play the black in between, and it will go in, but has to avoid both the black and the jaw. And white played with backspin goes into safety at the right side of the table. The important thing is to be on target, and Ian is on target for the last time in the match. He goes into the footsteps of Rashid Wagaba, Ibrahim Sejemba, and Simon Dubola as one of just now 4 Ugandans that have beaten Caesar in a long race. This time round, away from the boundaries of his country, as Big KELS leads the celebrations, understandably so. The match of the day has ended here at the Institute of Sports in Lagos, in Nigeria, racing to 15 for $1,500 fine score. Ian KAZIBWE 15 and Caesar Chandigarh 10. I wish you a very good rest of the evening, and may the Almighty God bless you. Let's meet tomorrow. Good night.
Tomorrow, guys.